Hello, friends. 23 weeks. And wow, this has been a crazy week. It started off with Monday. I went after work, had a good day at work. And then after work, I thought, well, I'll go now that I have time before I start taking my grandchildren to their other grandparents' house for daycare and picking them up, I'll go ahead and take care of a few things. So I went and got my nails done, and then I thought, while I'm here, I'll go ahead and do some hair removal. So I usually get like a little blonde mustache and a little beard. and yeah, you ladies who are my age, you know how this is. You get hair in very strange places as you age. But anyway, I thought I'll go ahead and take care of that while I'm here. And I did. And after the lady finished with my face, it just started burning like it was on fire. And I realized a little bit too late that I shouldn't have gotten waxed because I've been using retin-A on my skin. And so that makes it really sensitive and like thins your skin out. And it was terrible. It was so bad and so painful that I even went to the emergency room. And of course, they couldn't do anything about it. You're like, put this aquifer stuff on your face and, just keep it moist and it'll heal. And so that was about a week ago. And as you can see, it's already healed up. I'll have to put some pictures in the chat or link the picture so you guys can see if you're interested how bad it was. So that was a challenge. I did stay in a positive state through that and kind of question myself, like, why did this happen to me? And I'm not really sure, like, if there was a lesson other than dummy, don't wax while you're using retin-A. And maybe that was just the simple lesson. Maybe this whole thing happened for somebody else. Maybe it was to remind me of what a miracle the body is and how fast it heals. I'm really not sure what the lesson is, but it doesn't matter. I stayed in a positive state throughout it, and it kind of made me realize too how I don't really care a lot about what other people think. Where years ago I would have probably not gone to work because of how bad it looked. But I didn't. I just went ahead and went on my business and carried on like nothing had happened, even though my face looked like it was a mess, looked like it was on fire. So that was one of the challenges, and that was on Monday. And then I'm trying to remember what day it was. I think it was on Tuesday, either Tuesday or Wednesday, one of those days. I think it was Tuesday. I had the tire pressure light kept coming on in my car, and I inflated the tires, and everything was fine with the tire pressure, but the light kept coming on, and I thought that I should probably get it checked out. So I went by Firestone on my way home from work. I think this was Tuesday afternoon, and had them check it out, and they ended up replacing some kind of sensor on one of the tires. They said that was the problem. Well, on the way home, it came on again. So I thought, okay, that wasn't it. Must be something else. So I went about my business, took the dogs for a walk. On the way back, I noticed that it had a flat tire. My car had a flat tire. So, yeah, I had a flat tire, and this is like the first time in years, and I haven't had, haven't been I've been separated from my husband for a long time, and so I haven't really lived with a man for like over 5 years now. And but I luckily haven't had a flat tire either. Gosh, I'm gonna have to open the door. I'm sweating so bad. But anyway, I haven't had a flat tire, and yeah, so I ended up my son lives at home, and he's 23, and he had never changed a tire before. So we had a little bonding moment over changing the tire. So I YouTubed how to do it, and like got my car manual out and everything. And so we took the tire off, and then the next day I borrowed his car, drove it to work, got it fixed, came back, put it on the car. So anyway, it was like a 2-day thing. And luckily this whole repair coincided to a time that he was off of work. So it actually worked out great, and I stayed in a positive state, and we had a little bonding moment. He changed his first tire, and so did I. So anyway, that was kind of sweet. And then after I got the tire fixed, the next day I woke up and had a dead battery in my car. And this has happened once before this winter, and um, there was nobody home except for my youngest daughter, and so I googled like how to jumpstart a car. And I have, because that's another thing that I have never done either. My son-in-law probably would have done it for me, but he was already at work. And so anyway, I got the manual out and looked up how to do that on YouTube. And then her car has some weird things going on with the battery terminal, so I wasn't able to connect it very well, so it didn't work whenever I tried it. And then my neighbor was leaving, so I called him over, and then he hooked it up and jumped me, and I got to work. So I ended up being a little bit late for work, but it wasn't really a big deal, and I learned a little bit about how to jump a car. And I have a pair of I had a pair of battery terminals in my car already. So yeah, 2 car things all in one weekend, or all in one week. But I have managed to stay in a positive state, and I just know that like things like this will happen. It's just part of life, and there's no reason to really get upset about it. Um, and I didn't, so that's great. That was like a success for the week. Another thing that I've found a couple of different YouTubers who do a lot of work as far as becoming your future self and acting as your future self. And I've discovered that self-image has a lot to do with that. And so I am really thinking a lot about my self-image and how I want to be in the world, and doing some work on that. And fitness is like the thing that I'm really into right now, as far as watching my not necessarily counting calories so much, but more protein. I'm still watching my calories, but I'm also trying to hit 150 grams of protein and then work out with weights. And then my son, who has recently moved back home, he is really into weightlifting, and so he's training me. So we went to the gym yesterday and had a really good workout. I'm sore today. And then I took some very humbling before shots today, before the transformation, and in my swimsuit, and did measurements and everything. And ooh, girl's got some work to do, but that's okay. I'm just going to enjoy the process. And then afterwards, because I thought it'd be pretty inspiring if I could put my face on another chick's body that's really fit and in shape. And so that's what I did. I used AI and I put my face on another woman's body, and it looks pretty convincing, and she's pretty hot. So I'm going to keep that in mind, and then try to be her and think of like what would she do in certain situations, and kind of take on that identity, and become like, try to be the future fit version of myself as much as possible, making those food choices and those workout choices and everything. So I did that. I also signed up for piano lessons, because I used to take piano a lot, or I used to take piano in the past when my youngest daughter was taking lessons. So I decided that I want to do that, because I don't really know how to play the piano, but I really would like to. So I did that. And then I also signed up for a dance lesson, because that's another thing that I've always wanted to do. So there'll be more to come on how those 2 things pan out. But I'm really happy with some of the choices that I'm making to be more of who I am, and follow my dreams and the things that I'm interested in. And just because I'm 50 years old doesn't mean that I need to stop living or stop setting goals for myself. So that's me, and that's my week. Week 23. It definitely had some challenges in it, but like I said, stayed in a positive state, and I feel like I'm getting a positive result from it. Um, Definitely still following Bashar's formula as closely as possible and being my future self, the person that I feel like I am inside, at a soul level. So all is good. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week for week 24. Is that right? 24 weeks, that's 6 months. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Um, yeah, I look forward to seeing you next week and hope you have a fantastic week. And wherever you are, I hope that you are following Bashar's formula as well and using it to live your best life. Take care.